This morning we're going to read our next Bible story, and you're going to be using this paper and then this little baggie. But we're not going to use this little bird today. This is a dove. We're going to save the dove for a different day, but we're going to use all these little pieces in here, okay? So, before Christmas, we had been talking about Moses, right, for a long time. We read about when Moses was a baby. Let's find it, right? We read about when Moses was a baby and he was saved by the princess. We read about when Moses became a grown-up and he became a shepherd and God spoke to Moses through the burning bush, right? He told him to free the Israelites from Egypt. Moses went to talk to Pharaoh. Pharaoh wouldn't let the people go, so God sent the plagues. There were 10 of them, right? And then finally, Pharaoh let the Israelites go after his son died. And then the Israelites left Egypt. During the day, God led them as a pillar of cloud. During the night, he was a pillar of fire. They reached the Red Sea. Moses had to part the sea so they could get across. Pharaoh's army got washed away. They were hungry, so God sent them manna and quail, right? They were thirsty, so God sent them water. Moses went up to the mountain and he got the 10 commandments, right? So, after that, let's see here. We're going to kind of skip that story. So it says, the time of Moses had come to an end. The sons and daughters of the people he had let out of Egypt were grown up, and a new leader became their leader. So now Moses, he isn't the leader anymore. Joshua became their leader. God said to Joshua, you must lead these people into the land that I promised Moses that I would give you. Do not be afraid, for I will be there to help you. The Israelites were camped along the Jordan River. On the other side of the river was a city, and the city is named Jericho. Joshua sent 2 men to explore the city, to check it out. What kind of place is this? The king of Jericho found out about these 2 spies. But a woman named Rahab hid the men on the roof of her house, and the king's men did not catch him. So when the king's men, they're over here actually, when they were looking for the spies, a woman, she let them stay and hide on her house so they wouldn't get captured. Rahab told the spies that the people of Jericho were greatly scared of the Israelites and their God. When Joshua heard this news, he got ready to enter the city. So the land that God promised Moses is this land, but people already live there. It's the city of Jericho. So God told Joshua what to do. Joshua led his people across the Jordan River, and the city was locked tight. No one went in, no one came out. Joshua sent his army to march around the walls of the city. In the middle of the army were 7 priests carrying trumpets. For 6 days in a row, the army marched once around the walls of Jericho while the priests blew their trumpets. So every day for 6 days, the army marched 1 time around the city and the priests blew their trumpets, okay? On the 7th day, the army marched around the walls 7 times. The last time around, the priests played 1 loud blast on their trumpets. Doo, doo, doo. Then all the soldiers shouted as loudly as they could. At that moment, the walls around the city, you know what happened to them? They came tumbling down. Joshua's army did not have to hurt anybody. They did not have to fight anybody. The walls came tumbling down just by marching and blowing their trumpets. The army charged into Jericho and took the city. But they did not want to hurt the woman Rahab and her family. This was her reward for helping the spies. She lived among the Israelites from then on. The Israelites had come to the end of their long journey. No more manna fell from the sky, and the people could now eat food from their own land. So that's how the Israelites got the city of Jericho. So we're going to work on this one today. It says at the top, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. Now, if we were at school, there's a song that we would listen to. It goes, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. Maybe I'll put it in your Google Classroom, the song, because I think there's a little YouTube video of the song of it. So this is this is not Joshua. This is one of the priests, because the priests were the ones that were blowing the trumpets, right? Joshua was the leader of the army. He was not a priest. So you can color him however you want. You can copy me, or you can do your own colors. And let's see, give him some shoes. A long time ago, men wore sandals like this with like straps that went up high like that. Now people call them like gladiator sandals or gladiator shoes. Let's see. What other colors should we use? Let's see, I think this hangs down. I don't know what that is behind his head. His trumpet, maybe it was like a golden color. So every day for 6 days, they marched around the walls just once. And then on the 7th day, they marched around 7 times and blew their trumpets. And the walls came tumbling down. And we're gonna kind of make the walls tumbling down with our little pieces from our bag. Let me see, I'm gonna do his beard with my crayon. And his mustache. All right, so then you can press pause if you need to finish that. I'm gonna take my gray and I'm gonna make like smoke, because if like a wall or any building or anything made comes tumbling down, it kind of makes dust. Like think about if you were to throw some bricks down in the sand or on the ground, it would kind of make dust. So that's the dust from the walls tumbling down. So I'm gonna I'm gonna put my dove, I'm gonna leave my dove in my bag because I'm gonna use that a different day for a different project. And I'm just gonna take out all my pieces of my wall. So this is gonna be the wall that fell. So when we glue it on, we're not gonna glue it on straight. We're gonna glue it on kind of messy, because if you look at the picture, let me find it. If you look at the picture, look at the wall, there's the dust from the stones and the wall is just messy, falling down. Bye. So I'm gonna put my glue there, and then I'm just gonna kind of stick my pieces on. I'm gonna make sure they're sticking one at a time. But I'm gonna glue them like they fell down. Kind of in like a big pile or a mess. You don't have to use all of them. There's a lot in there. You can save them for something else if you want to make another project. So there's my wall. I'm going to lift it up, make sure none of them are falling off. If they're falling off, I'm going to really push down harder. And there you have it. Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho. And the walls came tumbling down. The end. Looks good.